Hello, I'm Dr. Hassaan Tohid and I welcome you to another wonderful video on 5 warning signs of case study writing. Five warning signs of writing a case study. What are those 5 warning signs? What are the signs that you should be careful about? Let's begin. Number 1, warning sign number 1 is don't ever start working on a case report or case study without consent of the patient. Without a patient's consent, you can put yourself in legal trouble. And it's also not ethically correct as well, using somebody's information without their permission. Just use common sense. Whenever you are in a doubt, just think about it, put your hand on your heart and ask yourself, is it the right thing to do? If the answer is yes, then yes, it is the right thing to do. Most of the time, the answer will be no if it's the wrong thing to do. So ask yourself and ask your senior doctors out there to guide you and help you that should you do this way or should you not do this way? Remember, the biggest mistake that you can do is start working on a case report or case study without taking consent. And remember, this consent should be written consent. Verbal consent is not a consent. Anything that is not written means it did not happen. So make sure the consent is written consent. It's properly done on a consent form. Patient should sign it. Only then you can start working on your case study or your case report project. Second important warning sign is never ever rely on one source of data. The hallmark feature of case studies is multiple sources of data. So you should collect as many possible sources of data as you can. Interview, the family involvement, the primary physician's interview, the electronic records, medical records, every possible piece of information you can gather, involve it, add it in your project. Otherwise, it will not be a case study. It will be a flawed study design. So that's the warning number 2. Third warning is don't forget to add the lab findings, the X-ray reports, MRI findings, whatever is relevant. Don't forget adding them. It will make your case study more interesting and more credible. Fourth warning sign, as usual, I have always mentioned this, and I'll repeat once again, don't plagiarize. While writing your case study, don't plagiarize. Plagiarism is copy pasting somebody else's words and not giving a reference. So to avoid it, always rewrite the sentence in your own words and always give a reference. If you do that, you will avoid plagiarism. The fifth and the last warning is the scientific fraud. Don't ever lie or deceive or cheat in your paper. Don't write false findings just to prove certain point. Don't write false or incorrect information. Again, ask yourself, is it 100% correct? Is it 100% true? Many people, they think that I can write something incorrect or I can exaggerate something that this patient had this findings or this information was mentioned in this article and they can incorporate that in their literature review section of the case study. This will be lethal. This will be destructive. Not only because it's the wrong thing to do, but also it can destroy your career. It's something that can totally destroy your career, your reputation forever. So don't do these things. So these are the 5 warning signs. I'll repeat again quickly. Number 1 is don't forget the consent, and the consent should be written and signed by the patient. Second warning sign is that you always collect multiple sources of data. The third warning sign is always involve and include the lab findings, the MRI findings, or the X-ray as necessary. The fourth warning is don't plagiarize. Always rewrite in your own words and always give a reference. Last, the fifth one is don't lie or deceive in your paper. Otherwise, it will be scientific fraud. I hope you like this video. If you have any questions or concerns, please comment below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you for watching this video. Keep learning, keep watching.